Hi guys, and welcome to lesson 9 of my series on basic computer programming. This lesson covers numerical error checking in the basic language, and it's very useful because, as we all know, if you put garbage in a computer program, then you will get garbage out. GIGO, as it's known, GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. Okay, this is the complementary video to my tutorial, which is listed on the site. I'll put a link in the description to the full tutorial which explains it in a little bit more detail. This video is just really to show those of you who've read the tutorial how the programs and error checking parts work. You can then add these to your own programs if you wish to help you in error checking and making sure that you get good results rather than garbage out. So without further ado, let's crack on. Okay, as you can firstly see, I've made some very slight changes to the program that's listed in the text tutorial. I've put a print there. Okay, that's print number. Reason I've put that there is just so that you can see what exactly is output in real time rather than me explaining it in the tutorial. The rest of the program is pretty straightforward, and it's as it's listed in the tutorial. So without further ado, let's see what's happening on here, and we'll crack on and show you the results, what happens. Basically, we're wanting a number between 1 and 20, okay, and we're wanting a whole number between 1 and 20. So what we're going to do first, this is an error checking routine that you would add something like this to your own program. Of course, you can modify it to whatever value you want, whatever ranges you want, whatever you want to look for, etc. So, okay, so we're looking for 1 to 20 and it's got to be a whole number. So, okay, first of all, let's give it a trial run and see what we get. Please enter a number between 1 and 20. Okay, so we'll put the number 7 in. Let's see. That's just printed out 7, which it should do in this instance. Obviously, I've printed that out in the program, as you can see, but actually where print number is, that would be the start of your next either error checking routine or the start of your program would be there. So as you can see, it's checked to see if the number is between 1 and 20, which it was, and it's printed it out. So that's how it should work. It should get to that point if the number is between that. So what happens if we go out of the range then? So we'll run it again and we'll go 21, and it immediately comes back. It's checked to see that it's not between 1 and 20. It's checked to see that it wasn't, it was 21. So it asks us again. Okay, so let's try 0. So we've tried a number higher and a number lower than 20. Okay, and it's come up, it still comes back, it loops back and asks us to put the number in between 1 and 20. Okay, so we're pretty clever here. So let's go 5.6 and we'll see what happens there, bearing in mind that we are looking for a whole number. 5.6 is not a whole number. So let's see if the program behaves as it should do. And as you can see, a new error message has now appeared. Please enter whole numbers only. So obviously this program is only going to carry on with the next part of your program when the number is between 1 and 20 and when it's a whole number. So okay, we'll go back to printing 7 in there and let it do its stuff. So that's the first part of the program that, as you can see, it works quite well in there. So what I'm going to do now is to clear that one out, and I'll show you the next example that we've got. And this one is what would happen if someone actually typed in a letter instead of the number. Now this is just a smaller part of the previous one you've just seen now. All this will do is check. It won't check between 1 and 20. You would add the part that you've just seen onto the end of this where print value is. That would be the next part of your either error checking routine, or it would be part of the rest of your program. So you would put in there the previous part of the program, obviously with different line numbers, to check whether then value was greater than 0 and less than 21, and then the next part of the check would be whether value was a whole number, etc., etc. If not, then it would go back to 10 again and enter the number, etc. So that would be what I would suggest a task for you guys who are following these tutorials to do. Write a program that incorporates this check for letters, which I'm just going to show you running in a few seconds, and then also incorporate into that the next section that checks that when it's decided that it is a numerical value that has been entered, it checks to see whether that numerical value is greater than 0 and less than 21, or whatever range you want to use, and that it is a whole number. Okay, so without further ado, let's see this part of the program run. So basically all this program wants is a number. Okay, so we're just checking to see that the value we type in is an actual number. So if we enter into there 1, 2, 3, and it should actually print out 1, 2, 3, which it's done. So it's printed out the number. It will check for, in the explanation on the tutorial that I wrote on my site, it does explain that if you put a character in, then the function val a dollar does return a value of 0. Now this is no good if you're going to use the value 0 in your range, i.e. if you need 0 for something, i.e. if you're using it for a game and you need 0 to pause or stop or whatever. You don't want letters pressed that will cause that action to happen. So what this does is returns a value of 0. What we're going to do down here is check to see if actual 0 does work. Let's run that again now, and we'll put in ABC. Please enter numbers only. Okay, so we'll put in 0, and it's accepted 0. As you can see, the program has completed because 0 was typed in, but it will not accept it. And just to prove that, I'll type 1 character in instead of 3 characters, so that there can be no possibility of, so if we type in, I don't know, A, whatever, it's still coming up and asking because A is not 0. So again, we can type in any old number, 45 will do. And that's the end of the program. So as you can see, the error checking procedure does work. Again, on line 80 where we have print value, that would be the next error check that you would go through, i.e. on the previous program where we were checking for a number between 1 and 20, for instance, and then of course from there on checking to see whether the number was whole, and from there we can go and check any more number of attributes you want on the number, and then carry on with your program. So I think that's about it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed them. As I said, I'll put the link to the tutorial in the description. Also, I'll put a link to our site in the description too. Please pop along and see us. We've got thousands of useful tips, hints, tutorials, useful web links, etc. in there for you to uncover. So pop along, visit us. I'm sure you'll find something to interest you somewhere. I'll be making more of these videos soon to do with the tutorials that I'm putting up. So if you like them, please rate them and favourite them, and please subscribe to our channel. That's about all for now. I hope to see you on the site soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now.